Welcome everybody to Catfish Weekly along with Chad. I'm Lyle and Chad. We got Josh, the weekend angler, is going to join us for some informational stuff and a tip tonight. And we got Dustin with Northwest Missouri Fishing. Should be
Welcome,
a great
fellas.
show.
It should. Welcome, fellas.
I actually have some results from the Master Bait and Tackle Tournament. Let's see, that it was held this past weekend in Solomon Reservoir in Wabash, Indiana. And first place, Team 11, Newbie and Messersmith with 43.02 pounds. And by the way, this was a all channel cat tournament. Second place was Team 10, Holding and Wood with a 39.97 weight. Third place was Team 9 with Stockton and Wallace, 33.37 pounds. Fourth place was Team 5 with Kendall and Kendall, had 28.62 pounds. And fifth place was Team 3, Richmond and Parrish, was 22.74 pounds. They had a big fish of 18.86 pounds, and that was caught by the number 6 team, which finished ninth. White, and white, they caught one fish, and that was it, and they got big fish, so that was the right fish to catch. If you're only going to catch one, that's the one you want.
Yeah. It was a dandy.
It was. Congratulations to all the winners. You guys are here. Yeah, they're doing good over there, and then Messersmith, they're just having a heck of a time over there, and that first place team, they've been setting them on fire, so somebody's going to have to step it up because they are tearing it up over there, and it's a good thing. We got a bunch of people in chat tonight. Chad, do you think we ought to give them a welcome in?
Yeah, let's welcome on in here Mr. Mike Irvin. We got Matt from Wannabe Outdoors, Creole Catfishing. We got Moonlight Fishing, Dan from B3 Customs. We got Chad Nolte, Travis Young, the Weekend Angler. What's up, Josh? We got the fourth favorite son, Fish on Luke. Ken Seeker TV, Bumpin' Mike Greenwell, Sean Abney, Mr. Maurice Cason. What's up, bub? Scroll down here. We got my beautiful wife, Dee. James from Patriot Catfishes of America. Dale Hayslip, Cat Life Outdoors. Freddie's Outdoor Adventure, who, congratulations to him, took fourth place in his first ever tournament this over the weekend. We got Carmel Muncie, Mark from Catfishing Crappie, Gene Tillman. Get me out here. Same people. At least they're chatting. That's right. We got Lance McCouguy, Mr. Kitty Whiskers, Michael Mallett, Fishing with Big Mike, Dave Funk,
Mike Greenwell, Joe Newman.
Got Mr. Avid Fisherman.
Is that Bones Gaming?
Bones Gaming.
That's a new one to me.
That is a new one to me.
Hanging low tonight. I'm sorry.
Oh, Lord.
I couldn't help myself.
We got El Catfish Grande, Bill and Duke Catfishing. What's going on? Ray Smith, and I am at the bottom. There's Joe Buck 66.
You bet. Joe Buck's in here. Joe Buck's been on a winning tear here lately on the drawing, so guys are going to have to step it up. There's Bill Duke Catfishing. Did you say that one? And Ray Smith, my buddy Ray. Glad to see you in here tonight, Ray. Trying to see. Man, I'm not even close to the bottom. I don't know how you got there. Fin Seeker TV.
Got him. We got Brian P. Catfishing.
There's Avid, Gene Tillman. We got a great bunch of folks in here tonight. Should be a lot of fun in chat. So let's get started.
Let's do it.
All right. Dustin, how's it going, buddy?
Oh, it's going. How you doing?
I'm hot, and then hot some more.
You act like it's summertime, Lyle.
Yeah, man. Well, it seems to me like summer started about a month and a half early.
Yeah.
But that's just me, you know. Maybe I've forgotten. But Dustin, we was talking before the show. You was out over the weekend catching some fish.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty tough. Couldn't bump anything up, but few little hits here and there. But
We was talking about that, and I believe the spawn to be over for the most part in our area. But I think the reason the fish are so tough right now is because of the hot weather.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, water temperatures are. I don't know what the water temperature is because I haven't been out. Guys ask me all the time, so when you come out with a video, when you going to do this, when you going to do that, when it cools off. I don't have to get out in this heat. You can't make me. It's just the way it is.
Yep.
But I told Cindy today, I said, if we're going to go fishing, we're going to have to reconsider our not fishing at night stuff because it's just too hot in the daytime.
Yeah, it was right at 87 degrees on the Missouri Saturday.
Wow.
That is unheard of on a Missouri River, as far north as you are, especially.
Yeah, because it was 84 here on Saturday.
Wow.
Yeah, it was 86 this afternoon behind the dam there on the Ohio. So.
Behind the dam, where the cold
Behind the
water
dam
comes out of
was-
the bottom
yeah.
of the dam. That's unreal.
It was nuts.
Yeah. Are they running water on the Ohio?
They're running very little.
Very little.
Shawneetown's just hanging right below the low water stage, so they're passing through what they have to, and they're not throwing any extras. So
Wow.
we need a good soaking rain.
We do for about 2 or 3 days. I see our buddy Richard with Mad Cat or Catfishing has joined us. Glad to see you in here tonight, Richard.
Oh, Richard. Richard's my neighbor.
Richard's your neighbor?
Yeah, he's we're about 10 minutes apart.
That's
wow.
awesome.
That is cool.
I do remember you guys saying you guys live pretty close to each other, but I didn't know it was that close.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't either. Mark says water temperature 76 degrees Saturday night up there on his river. I forgot what the name of it is. It's a little.
He was probably on the Fox.
Yeah, Fox River. That's
the
it.
foxhole.
But it doesn't have much flow in it this time of year either. I don't believe, but he's got them big old boats flying up and down all the time.
I think he's got even less than the Ohio does right now. So
There nothing has less current than the Ohio River.
well, there's that Missouri. What was he talking about earlier? What's your current right now there,
3
Dustin?
Yeah, that's unbelievable. 3 mile an
miles.
hour in the Missouri River is just unreal.
that slow.
That's crazy.
Makes it
Start with the 1 Ton Fishing Club. Yeah, I just I don't know that I've ever been on the Missouri when the current was that low.
Yeah, it's kind of it's just not the same river. It's no fun when it's like that. You get waves and
You know what, Dustin? If the Missouri River would stay like that all the time, so more people would come fish on it because they wouldn't be near so afraid of it.
that's right.
And that's a fact.
That's right. Yep, I guarantee.
I can handle the 3 mile an hour.
Yeah. That's nothing on that river. I promise you.
No, it's not.
It's I've been on it when it was scary fast.
Mm-hmm.
Big trees coming down. Oh my God! We shouldn't have been out there, but you do what you have to do.
Yeah.
When the fish are biting, you got to go.
Gonna say that's the heck of it. Most of the time, that's when the fish are biting. So
People laugh at me when I tell them that, Dustin, but when the water's high and the current's ripping, the fish are usually biting.
yep,
They really are. You just got to find the spot they're at.
Yep, that's right. That's right.
Well, and I like fishing that kind of weather. I really do. A lot of people don't. They're afraid of it, and it bears some respect. But if you can stand it, if your nerves will take it, you can usually catch some fish, and you can usually find bait.
Yep. Yeah, I've been on it all my life, and I still act like I don't. I respect it. You've got
to. You do. Missouri, any of the big rivers, even the Ohio, because when it gets to flooding, it gets to ripping too.
Mm-hmm.
It might not be quite as ripping as what you and I see a lot of the time, but it still gets it on.
Yeah.
Especially in channel swings and stuff like that, where it narrows down after it comes through them dams and stuff. Yeah, they all do.
Yep.
See, Chad, I did not make fun of your waterway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're only being respectful tonight of the Ohio River because Josh is on here as well. David, he's on it.
Are you afraid you two will double team me, huh? That's
You know,
not it at all. Hey, Crappie Day Fish On. Glad to see you in here. Sean T Outdoors. But yeah, I do, anytime that you have narrow down spots or dams or channel swings with big curves, anything like that will increase your speed around going through them places, and they all bear watching. I don't care what body of water it's on.
Yep.
And I understand that at times they have great current out on the Potomac and the James River. I've never been out there to either one of those, but for the most part, I don't think they have near the kind of current that we're used to, because a lot of ours is free flowing.
Yeah,
But they have tidal current, and
Yeah.
I'm not sure how long it would take me to get used to that.
I would imagine it'd take a while.
It would for me, because I just never, I can't imagine it changing directions in the middle of the day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Can you imagine the Missouri River going east all day, and then all of a sudden, boom, and it goes west?
Yeah. I always say if I ever do decide to start fishing tournaments out on the James, that I would hire a guide a couple times
Yeah.
just to try to get the feel of it, and because I'd be lost on a river like that. There's
Oh, absolutely. Me too. Me too. But you know what? Them guys have figured it out,
oh yeah,
because there's a lot of them catch a lot of great fish out there.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
if they can do it, we can do it too.
yeah, yeah.
Hooks and Hammocks has made it into chat, and Brian B. also. Glad to see you guys. Central Valley Adventures, welcome. Matt, let's want to be outdoors. Man, they're coming in, guys. They are coming in. Glad to see them. So what's going on with your YouTube channel, Dustin?
Right now, got a bait video I'm working on. I'm trying to get just a little bit more material for it before I post it up. But other than that, between the spawn and work, it kind of slowed me down a little bit. We're getting a time of year now though that I'll be back on the water quite a bit, and I'll be getting some material put together. And
Good.
I think now this fall especially, I'm gonna start really running with it and trying to put a lot of content up. Try to stay a little more consistent with it.
That's
But-
awesome. We'll
I got
all
a
be
question
looking
for you.
It's a lot of fun. I'm still in the learning stages, but so far it's a lot of fun. I love it. But the main thing is just getting content and staying consistent. I figured that out pretty quick. So,
Yeah, it's hard to stay consistent for me when this kind of weather, though.
yeah, it's tough this time.
Yeah.
I've watched a lot of guys, a lot of different channels, and they've kind of slowed down too. So,
Well, the cost of gas is affecting some of that too, I think.
Mhm.
that 5 something a gallon diesel and all that stuff kind of
Yeah.
makes it pretty tough. But you got to get out and do it.
Yeah.
So, Dustin, up where you're at, though, what's your main sources of bait that you use up that way?
It depends on time of year. Skipjack is not up around here. Skipjack's not really native. They're up here, but they're next to impossible to get. Shad's pretty common in the wintertime, fall and winter. But
Yeah.
it's carp, 100%. All carp, yep. Unless you're flathead fishing, then you go to bluegills, bullheads, stuff like that. But for blues, it's mainly carp.
Okay.
And it's the easiest there is to get by far.
Now you talking about big heads or common carp?
I use everything. I do like the Asian a little better. It's so tough. That stuff you got to cut it off.
Stays on the hook well.
Mhm.
Yes, yeah. There's been times I've caught 4 or 5 fish bumping on the same piece of bait. I mean, it's hard to get it off a hook.
Yep.
Like,
You got to cut it off nearly. The skin's so tough, like alligator.
yeah, but yeah, I just scale them and then bag them up, cut them, and go ahead and chunk them and bag them up, and that's how I use them. And it's good bait. It's really good bait. But
You put them in Ziploc bags.
yeah, I don't
You
even
cut-
vacuum those like I do my shads.
Yeah. Do you cut the tenderloin part of the fish out of it?
Yep. And a lot of
And then-
guys, when I say that, the clean white meat I've found
Right.
is what they like.
Yeah, and I take and slit the gut open and pour whatever rolls in out into the bag and then seal it up and put it on ice.
Let it all set in there. Yep.
That's right. Yeah, just kind of ferments.
It works pretty good. Works really good.
It does. I mean, it works really good. I'd like to welcome Van with V3 Customs Kentucky in and Backlash Fisherman. Let's see, there's some more in here. Dale Hayslip, did we get him? 922 Barbecue. Damn it. LG Bass. There's Creole and Hooks. Something else. Who am I missing, Chad?
I
Big
see,
Ridge Cat Fitting.
seen Shanti. I see the Bullock Experience. You said Parker Pursuits.
No, I didn't, but I was getting ready to.
JP3 Outdoors.
JP3.
Fish Bandit. Backlash Fisherman. Here you got all these other ones.
Man, I'm still not to the bottom of Shameless Fishing. That's a new one. Welcome. I'm at the bottom.
Carolina Catfish. All right. Yeah, I think we're caught up.
Okay. You guys got any questions for Dustin?
Oh, we're live now?
Lay it on me,
Funny man.
Chad.
Funny man. I had a list.
Oh, you have a list. I didn't know we used to have lists. Let's see. Well, I got to know you. You joined one of the online tournaments, so that's where I first met you, and kind of met you through watching a little bit on Facebook and stuff like that. And I'm like, man, this guy can really fish. Of course, you come on to the tournament, and all I see you do is twirling all the way down the Missouri the whole day.
Yeah.
But, you had a rough day for a start, but so are you into like your local tournaments and stuff like that more, and you're starting to kind of get into this, or what?
No, this is the first year for the online thing for me, but as far as local tournaments, I've fished for about 2.5 years now, and we run 3 different trails. Last year, I think 15 or 16 tournaments altogether. So, yeah, we fish quite a few, actual tournaments, but.
Any against Uncle Lou?
What was that?
Against Lee Reed. Have you fished any against Lee Reed, and tell us how bad you beat him if you did?
I don't think no. No, actually, no, I take that back. Yeah, I did. I haven't beat him.
Lee's quite a fisherman.
Yeah, he is.
Eric B, welcome.
Dustin, what's your PBs?
My PBs, flathead. I'm still trying to break the 40 mark. I'm at 38 on a flathead. Blue cat 76, and channel cat. I couldn't tell you a number on him. Probably 14, 15 pounds.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Oh, that's not a bad one.
That's some good
Dustin
numbers.
Kelly wants to know who your favorite YouTuber is.
Favorite YouTuber? Man, that's hard.
There's a lot of good ones out there.
There is a right answer.
It depends on.
It sure might end early.
Information wise, that's kind of a broad spectrum, I guess. Can I break it down in categories? Make it
Yeah, sure.
Information wise would be a toss up between Dieter and Chris Souders. And just for entertainment would either be probably honestly Dieter, or I gotta go with Dieter on that one too. Yeah. I love watching Dieter.
Dieter's not in chat. His head just went.
Yeah, he'll make it through the door.
No, I've learned a lot from Dieter, a lot. And it's crazy because his style of fishing is the exact opposite of mine, but it's you watch enough of it and try new things.
You can apply some of the stuff that he does to the way you fished, and the same. I think that if you took and went fishing with me one day, and Chad one day, and Josh one day, and you one day, whoever it was that went with us all, they pick up something from everybody, something different that each one of was doing that they could use in wherever water they fish.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Do you not? Do you agree?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I would agree. I think a good,
I would
a good
definitely
angler.
agree.
Yeah. Good
Yeah,
job.
would go with Chad, and you would learn to make sure you fill your boat up with gas.
Are you done?
Tether
I'm
the
good,
rods.
I mean, I was kind of going to go with the same thing. I think if a good angler is going to pick up different things from different people and continue to learn. You know, and I thought about throwing something out there about myself and say, you know, you go with me and learn where all the snags are, or not, what not to do, where not to fish, and stuff like that. But you know, thank
Don't look.
God, you know,
Yeah.
thank baby Jesus that we have Josh Dunnigan to go in and throw out there that are running out of gas once or
Just
twice.
don't expect to come with me and learn how to net a fish. I'll get that out there right now.
There you go.
Now I have to chime in on that. I went with you over to Baldwin Lake, and you helped me out to fish a tournament over there. We didn't do what we needed to do, but you done a great job netting fish that day.
I've been practicing, so I have never took that net, that big giant net. I have never put it in the boat since that video. It is set in the
Really?
garage. I have not took it back out on the water.
Are you
We
waiting
need
to hit the gym to see if you can?
No,
use
I
that
think
thing a little bit better?
I honestly think I still hate that thing that badly that I just won't put it in the boat.
Why are you giving Keith all this free attention?
Because it's Keith, and we need to welcome Keith with fishing and stuff into the chat tonight.
I was going to until he made his comment.
He said Chad will teach you to teach your
Tether.
your phone.
Tether your phone.
Yeah, tether is
Tether
what
your
he's trying to
phone.
say. Tether your phone.
You know what's really sad is Chad and I did that the same weekend.
You did.
The same day.
Now,
The same
somebody
day.
come out with a video after that telling you how to stop that from happening.
Well, actually, Fishing and Stuff had just posted one like the week before, and I know Josh had one dropping not too long around that part. So I was like, I don't like either one of you all. But
You're
look
very
now,
welcome, Keith.
he's over there sucking up the dad.
Hey, it don't get much better than fishing and stuff. And if you don't think so, if you think I'm wrong about that, go check out his channel.
Mhm.
If you ever want to do something for yourself, if you look through there, he's probably got a video about whatever it is.
That guy's a fast to watch too.
See,
Oh, he is a hoot.
you have the complete opposite thought of what I think. So you watch it and you're like, maybe I could do that because Keith did it, and I'm like, no. I can message Keith on Facebook and say how much because I need that done because I ain't doing it because I ain't that smart and you are.
James Dockery has made it into chat,
Dockery.
folks. If you don't mind, please go over to James Dockery Fishing and give him a hook set. We'd all appreciate it. He may say he don't, but I know he would too. Glad to have you in chat tonight. There's Sandy from Silver Fox Fishing, and Matt with Wannabe Outdoors says I even sent Chad a link for some phone lanyards from Rogue Fishing.
All right, we're reeling y'all back in. This is about Dustin tonight. All right, Dustin. So we talked earlier. You said Dieter is the complete opposite of how you fish. So are you primarily just all bumping, or are you ever anchoring up out in that nasty, crazy water, or what?
Nighttime, I don't bump at nighttime. It's some guys do. I'm not comfortable enough to do it, and nighttime. I relate that to flatheads. That's what I think of when I start night. So, but no, usually if the water's over 65, I'm bumping. That's the way I am. But no, I'll fish quite a bit on the rope though. I'll still trying to get that 40-pound flathead. Try to get over that mark. So probably this coming up couple next weeks that I'll be fishing more on the rope, trying to make it happen. But yeah, it's hard for me to quit bumping. I love to do it. It's
fun.
It is addicting. Now I've yet to hit a big fish doing it, but several 15, 20 pounders, 30s. but I don't think I've ever broke 40 on a bumping rod yet. But you don't really have to. If you've ever done it and you have one, try to pull the rod out of your hand. You'll understand what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
What I hear.
Oh, it's so fun.
About 60 bumping weights. Time to learn.
You can send about 40 of them to me if you want to.
What kind of weights do you use, Dustin, for bumping?
I just use regular bank sinkers, but I don't. I tie my sinkers onto my dropper. I don't use a swivel or a snap or
Right.
anything.
I used bumping. I bumped for years with regular bank sinkers. I
Yep.
went to cannonballs because the thought behind that was you got a bigger footprint on the, but you don't feel as much.
No,
I went back to the bank sinkers.
that's exactly right. I've found that the bank sinkers I just get a lot more feel.
That's right. I agree with you 100%. Now, there's people that'll argue with that, but I'm not one of them
Yeah.
because I've tried them both and used them both. And for me, the bank sinkers, they just have more feel. And if you're using if you do a test and test them both, use the same rod,
Mm-hmm.
you will. I think you'll come up with the same thing.
Yeah,
What's
absolutely.
Uncle Lou say?
He says,
Lisa, bump one of those big flatties up. That's a
That would
fun
be fun.
time. Now,
I
I've
actually
not bumped a flathead ever.
I hit one in a tournament. I think he was like 22 pounds or something.
Good
And
fish.
it was right dark. It was we were just about to quit bumping and we hit a flathead. That's the only time I've ever.
I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
pretty.
That'd be neat.
I've never hit a flathead. All the stuff I ever bumped up was one or two channel cats. They was pretty small. Everything else was blue cat.
Yep. See, I've never hit any cats bumping yet. So.
Yeah. But you got to be at the right spot for flatheads. You just have to be.
Yeah, you got
So-
it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you specifically target flatheads up there where you're at?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You do? What time of the year? All the time?
No. Usually, cool water when it's about 70 and up. I'll fish flatheads. When it gets back down to 70 and starts falling below that, I pretty much hang it up for the year. Usually get about 4 or 5 months good flathead fishing. Usually this year we got to start early, so that was kind of nice. And I'm sure the way the weather's good looking, we're going to run a little later than normal. But yeah, I'll run baits and bullhead stuff like that. Target flathead.
This is a strange year for temperatures. I've been around a while and I don't remember this. I don't remember the heat coming on this early.
That's what I
Mhm.
told you guys on the other day. We were getting August heat in beginning of June.
Right.
Yeah.
Here it's crazy.
I mean, I've seen it come earlier like this, and then it seemed like that what you expect in August is not as bad. So I'm hoping that's the case,
Yeah.
but I'm very fearful that this 90s and 100s is going to turn into a really bad August this year. So
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
at least I'm trying to reverse psychology type deal it, See if we can.
It come in early. It got hot, and probably what's worse than that is our rain cut out. Everything's all the river levels are going down, and there's really no end to it inside. So
I just
dry up or boil.
before you guys come into the show tonight, Chad and I was talking in the basement, and I told him, I said, after today, they're talking around 100 degrees here for the next 10 days. Now, what I'm saying is 97 to 105 is what's predicted in the next 10 days. So that's going to be kind of uncomfortable for me.
We're supposed to be sitting right at 100 on Saturday.
Yeah.
So Jerry Parker sent me a message this morning. He said, make sure you bring that phone cooler with you. We're going to need it during pool party. And I said, it's already in the boat. So
yeah, we need to share that link to the Catfish Weekly page, group page, so people can check that out and build them one, or talk you into building one, or however you do it.
There was we were looking around, and for the non, I don't want to say non-tech savvy because we're all kind of tech savvy if we're going live, but the school for the mechanically declined, I guess.
Okay.
They actually have some universal ones on eBay that are running $25-$30.
That's not so bad.
That might be they're kind of geared towards people who game on their phone, but some of those games, pretty intensive on the hardware, they'll get that temperature up too. So I'd say something's better than nothing, no matter what. So,
I've never had my phone overheat that I can remember. It may have, but I don't remember. But if I did, Cindy would be saying, "No, you're wrong," and
yeah.
she's not. So
I've had it come up on mine and say, battery is too hot to charge, and
Yep.
it starts to shut down apps. It starts to slow the processor on the phone down, and you might as well just forget it at that point. So,
wow, it's just unbelievable that it gets so hot, and I've seen it with a lot of other people. Dustin, do you do much go live when you're fishing?
I haven't yet. No, I did a couple years ago on my Facebook page. I haven't done it on my channel yet. That's something I kind of like to try. I went 4 or 5 different times on my Facebook page. I was bumping. I lost a good fish on my Facebook.
Well, I thought that I'd seen you on there a time or two bumping. I actually like to do that because when you do that, you don't have to edit anything. But I think you get a better showing down the road from something that you make videos out of. Myself,
Yeah.
but that's just me. There's Kevin with Palmetto Cats. Welcome, Kevin.
What's up, Kev?
Creole said he's got a little USB desk fan that he blows air on his, pretty much mandatory once it gets above 90. So
He is down there where it gets hot too.
somebody time
Yeah,
Art.
I mean, he doesn't get that heat like
Art?
we get, Josh, but he gets hot down here.
Art's
What do you
talking trash about Androids. So
That's what I have.
we don't keep.
Yeah,
keep
Art, that's not going to work, Art. We all got Androids here. I don't know what Dustin's got, but the rest of us.
Kelly wants to know your guys' thoughts on weather changes to how the fish are reacting. Do you think it's causing the fish not to bite as much?
I think the hot weather's keeping them from biting.
I think it's messed the bait up. I will say that.
That's what I was getting ready to say. It's going to push a lot of fish, a lot of fish deeper. It's going to move them. I think not so much as maybe changing the way they eat, but changing their habits as as a whole. I think the bait's not going to be as shallow as it is.
That's right.
They're just like
they can't stand the heat either.
Yeah, they're just like us. They want to come in from outside. You want to relax. They're going to find those deep holes, the cool places, and that's what they're going to do. That's why I always looked at it.
I agree 100%.
They have to eat, and
At some point, yeah.
And coming out of that spawn, they are going to have. They wear themselves down during that spawn. They are going to have to eat. So regardless of what that temperature is, there's going to be a time that they're eating.
Do you think that all of the feeding now will be in the evenings and late at night?
I do, yeah.
I personally think it's happening more towards the morning time. We
Is
talked
that
about
the coolest part of the night?
That's the coolest part of the night. That's
that's when it'll be, I'd say.
Yep.
I didn't stay out past midnight this past weekend, but the other last couple weekends that we actually went out and we fished that evening, it was a horrible bite. After about 3 a.m., when it started getting real crisp air and cold, we finally started catching fish both, a couple times that I was out there. So I think it's like what you all was just saying. It's got the bait moved into locations where we're probably not setting up. And as that water is starting to cool, that surface water at night towards the morning hours is where they're moving up. That's my thinking, but I ain't the smartest man in the world.
Well, I just wondered if you went in early because Dee wouldn't let you stay out any later.
Something like that.
Okay. Creole says we've got something feeding at night, but it ain't catfish. I'm just going to let that go. Oh, man.
You could go a lot of different directions with that one.
Yeah, I think you're right. Barker says it's been good from midnight till 2 a.m. If I stay out all night, seems like I get a good bite till around midnight, then it slacks up. Now this is, I haven't fished at night for quite a while, but around 3 till daylight or a little after is my favorite time.
Yep. I was just getting ready to say the same thing. There's been a lot of times when, we wouldn't even start fishing until 11:30 or midnight. And then you'd have 2 or 3 hours kind of a lull. And then it, like you said, around 3:30, seems like pick up and you'd have hours.
That lull, is that your time for a nap? It is for me.
Yeah, that's what he's singing himself a lullaby, taking a nap.
Kick back with the clickers on.
That's what clickers are for, man.
Right. Right.
And I hope and pray that Keith is right, that we have an early fall.
I would be happy with that.
I hope so too. Maybe he'll do a video about that and explain to us what we have to do to get that to happen.
Yeah. I've started turning all my fans south towards Creole and trying to push every bit of wind, heat that I can towards his way.
Well, one of these days I want to make a trip down there. Don't want it too hot because I want him to gather up a bunch of them big old crawdads and we're going to have a boil.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Yeah, man. We'll have to fix Cindy something else. She don't like that kind of stuff, but Lyle likes it a lot. I'll take care of her share.
Crawdads are a lot of work, but they're good.
Every bit of them. Yeah. Yeah, it was awesome. I need to go back through the archives, and we had a deal at Winter Blues on Wheeler one day where Tim and his wife brought up a bunch of crawdads, and they have a lady that comes up with them and fishes that tournament every year, and a whole bunch of us got together, and they fixed them because we was all getting together. The first time I'd ever ate them, and the video is hilarious. I need to go back through all the archives and put that up because Dawn was teaching me how to do that, and I was laughing, she was laughing, and we was cussing and she was talking, but I ate a bunch of them that night and enjoyed them very much. Of course, there were shrimp and corn and potatoes, and damn, makes me want to do it again. But I don't know enough about do the cooking, so we got to find a cook. We'll have to get them to come back up or something. I don't know if anybody else ever done that or not, but I never will forget that. But then again, I like to eat pretty much. Might even let Dockery come in some of that. Cat Life Outdoors, welcome.
Cat Life says early fall means early winter. Hey, I'll take a nice mild winter.
I'll take an on.
I would take a mild winter. We ain't had one in a while.
No, it hadn't been terrible though. Dustin, did you have any 100-degree weather last year?
I can't remember if we did. I don't think it's been this one of the warmer ones. I haven't had 100 degrees. This is the first year in 3 years that I've had any 100-degree temperatures, and I've already had more than I had the last 2 years. Yeah.
So I just assume we get pushed on past that, and I'll be more comfortable about it. I need to do some work to my boat, and it's just too hot to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was my understanding there, Dustin, that we're up where you're talking about being from. That you guys would still have you would still have ice glaciers coming down the river. So I'm very floored that you have 80-something degree water right now.
Yeah, we there's times the river it'll jam up almost solid. It's crazy. It's, believe it or not. Usually we can fish year round, but once in a while it'll jam completely solid in the wintertime.
Really?
Yep. Yeah. It's well, and like last year it was extremely low. It was terrible low last year. I couldn't fish from about November to about January because you couldn't put a boat in. The ends of the ramps were hanging out everywhere. You couldn't.
Man,
river.
That's insane. Yeah. But what you're saying though is you do get ice up that way. How far is Lyle from you? How far is Springfield?
Springfield probably I want to say 3.5 hours, 4 hours.
3.5 hours ain't bad, Lyle, if you really wanted to get on some ice fishing in the wintertime.
I don't want to do any ice fishing.
Mm-mm.
I'm just saying, you could go 3.5 hours this way or up to the dockeries, and you have ice fishing chances.
I'd
plenty
go
of
3.5
people to
hours to fish, but not for ice fishing.
Mm-mm.
That's the way I am. You keep
Yeah, I
ice.
ain't doing no ice
Yeah,
fishing.
I ain't ice fishing.
If I was going to do ice fishing, it'd be with Luke or Mark, and them two ain't got me out there, so Dustin ain't going to either.
No. If it's
Yeah, I'm
ice,
not interested.
duck hunting.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I love to duck hunt.
Yeah.
Tell him it's a duck hunting trip.
I love to duck hunt.
So that's the problem. That's one thing I've never done. I've got a lot of buddies that do it, and I can't bring myself to do it.
Yeah, I understand. Here's a great question for Josh. Who all's in your tournament this weekend?
All right, I was just pulling up the list here, Eric. We have first entrant is Jerry Parker, Parker Pursuits, and my buddy Heath is not going to be able to fish it, so I'm going to be fishing with Jerry Parker out there.
Oh,
We've got J Dog's Gone Fishing. We have Mike Greenwell from Greenwell Fishing. We've got Thomas and Sharina Littlepage, Laughing Cat Fishing, and Sharina's Keeping It Real. We have Chad and D Fields, Fields to Water, and Get Hooked on D Fishing. We've got Roger Dement from Muskrat Adventures, Skip Stewart from Clearview Outdoors. I think Zach might be fishing with him also. He's still kind of in the maybe column. And you've got Chris Lee from Hooks and Hammocks, was a late entry, asked if I still had a spot open. I told him I did. So he's coming in there. Ought to be some, hopefully, pretty good fish caught.
sounds like it. Sounds like a lot of fish should be caught.
That's right, especially by D and I.
There you go.
Yeah.
James Dockery would like to know, what big city do you live by?
The closest one is St. Joe.
St. Joe.
Yep, that's the closest one. Like I said, I'm an hour north of Kansas City, and 10 minutes south of St. Joe's.
Okay. So, 3.5 hours. That's not a bad trip. How big is the Missouri where you're at?
It's pretty big up here. You get south towards Leavenworth, Kansas area, it kind of narrows down a little bit, and down around Waverly, it's really, really small down there. But yeah, up here it's pretty big river. We get quite a few barges up here still. So
okay. Well, that probably will stop at some time.
Yeah.
Since they're not maintaining the wing dikes on it any longer.
Yeah, I don't really know how I feel about that. I think it's kind of a good deal, but at the same time, I kind of don't. I don't know.
I don't like it, but it's not my decision to make. I would rather see them maintain that in case somebody decides to run barges up and down it than to let all the money and the hard work that's went into that all these years go to waste.
Yeah,
that's just me.
There's some dikes up here that they're brand new. I mean, they're brand new. You can tell just at them, and now they're just going to let it all go, I guess. So
yeah,
it don't make much sense to do all that work and then just let the stuff go.
Yeah. It doesn't to me.
No, that's the government.
Big Bill is your fan, Chad.
It's family right there.
That's right. That is correct. Yeah, Creel wants to know if Keith is going to push somebody's ice shanty across the lake with his truck. I'm going to tell you, if you got cojones big enough to push a shanty out, if you got enough to drive a truck on the ice, I don't care how thick it is, they are boulders, baby. Mm-hmm. Boulders. As much as new trucks cost, and you're out there on the ice with one of them,
as much as a new truck costs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think I would do it with Mark's diesel. His
not that Dodge for sure.
Not that Dodge. Well, it probably wouldn't pull one out there anyway, but I probably wouldn't use it. I'd probably want something more reliable. Anyway, hey Lyle,
sir,
are we doing anything tonight?
As far as giveaways?
Yeah.
We are, as a matter of
Because
fact.
it is a quarter till, so I want to get that going.
Okay. We have a couple of mad catters catfishing rigs. The first one is a rig with an 8/0 circle hook in it, a 2.5-inch float. It would be this one right here. Now, it may not be orange because I can't. I use the orange because it does shows up my green screen real well. We have one of those. That will be the first giveaway. And the second giveaway is a couple that I found that I didn't know I had from Mad Catters, and they are dip bait tubes. So it should work great for guys that are out after eating size channel cat.
There we go. We got starting to get some people in there. There we go. Hashtag Mad Catter. The great Richard Ward.
He is so good to us. We appreciate everything that he does.
He's an all right fella.
He is.
Give him that. I wanted to get that started before we got too late. And
Yeah, he's good people.
He really is. We see him every spring when we go to Mendota.
Mm-hmm.
And if you ever want to meet Richard, that's a great place to do it.
that it is.
We had a blast again this year up there. So.
Oh yeah, it was awesome.
I've still got video to edit from up there.
Yeah,
I have a thing right here. I've got two of these. Everybody knows what Post-its are. Stick'ems.
Mm-hmm.
I got two of them where I have downloaded all the video, and I can put it all together, and I can't make one good one out of it. But there's two of them completely full of what I've downloaded off of them, but there's either things being said that shouldn't have been said, or the flap fell off of the enclosure and got in front of the camera, so you don't see a half of what's on it. You know, stuff like that on every one of them. We had some really good video, and whoever was netting the fish was in between the camera and the person fighting the fish every time. And I told Cindy when we got back and I got to checking, I said, we got to figure this out. We got to go around and net from the other side so the people can actually see the fish getting netted up. And we just didn't catch it, but we had a great time. And it's okay. I got all of it, but there'll be days like that.
Yeah, I sent you about 3 or 4 minutes of a video that you could use.
Yeah.
It's going to take a lot of unique editing to get some of the
beep beep.
Yeah,
beep.
Yeah.
You could probably put some kind of song in there to go beep beep beep.
I had decided that if I was going to do this, I'd just get a song and let it play through the whole thing and just let them watch the
That's about all you can do sometimes. Yeah, that's
yeah. Yeah, I get excited once in a while. I'm not the only one though, but I do.
We all do.
Especially with that ice rod. I had a lot of fun catching those channel cat on that ice rod. That was just, and every fish we caught this year, we caught off of Patriot floats. So
yep.
Every one.
What was the big?
Really good.
I brought some floats with me up there and never used them. I ended up just about all my fish come off dragging baits out there in that bay.
Where we was at, it was a real mucky bottom, and we just floated them about 2-3 inches off the bottom with them floats. Worked out great for me. You ever use floats, Dustin?
No, I don't. Used to with my dad. We would use the old Gatorade bottle trick.
Yeah, that'll work.
For flatheads and stuff. But yeah, I haven't done it. I need to get with James and get a set. I'd like to try it again. That's I know they work because they worked when I was younger. They're just
Paul Boyd, welcome. They are a lot of fun, and Cindy and I seen a guy doing that, and James and Katie was fishing not this past year but the year before, and towards the end of our time up there that year, we'd seen a guy up there using them, and they was having great success with them. I told James I said, I'll have some when we come back, and I did. And they really did work good for where we was at. Now, if we'd have been on Mendota instead of Cherokee, I'd have been using planer boards probably.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah. And if I'd used floats, they'd have been directly out the back of the boat like Junior Proctor does it. Mm-hmm. But where we was at, we just pulled up, found the fish, and anchored behind them and cast to them. And we was busy all day, nearly every day.
Yep.
So, We caught right around 80 fish in 3 days or three and a
Yeah.
half days because I had a day and a half where I didn't do nothing but work on the friggin' boat.
Yeah. Them channel cats are fun too. And up there, those are big channel cat up there.
Giants, yeah, they really are. It's a lot of fun. They are a lot of fun. So
What was fish from up there this year?
what's that?
What was the biggest channel cat from up there this year?
It wasn't me.
20,
That was
25 and a half pounds, I think, by Tara Lindsay.
Yeah, I didn't get any. I only got one in the 20s, I think, the whole time we was up, which is unusual for us. But we just didn't get the big ones this time. But hell, what's wrong with 15, 16-pound channel cat? I'm not going to complain about that.
That's
Mark
crazy.
Mark claims that he caught a 23 and a half pounder, but just because he wanted to beat my 22-pound that I caught.
I'm telling you, it's great fish.
I'd like to get up there sometime. That'd be a lot of fun.
We'll be going again next year, I'm pretty sure.
definitely worth it.
Yeah.
If you can get up there.
He's lying.
I think the dates are already set for next year. So.
I think they are. I don't have them handy, but I think Jerry already sent them to
Christina
our
had them
group.
the other day. I can't remember when they are, so
I'm getting messages from your brother James, Chad.
Uh-oh.
He's being mean to me. You need to talk to him.
Oh, I'll encourage him later.
I sent him an emoji.
Let's go ahead and remind these beautiful, beautiful people, all 78, 80 of them, that is in chat right now. We are doing a giveaway. Hashtag MadCatter if you are interested in winning some MadCatter rigs. Get it in there. We'll probably draw this here in about 3 minutes.
There's Real Gals Fishing and Catfish Viking. William Warner has made it in, Fishing from Freedom. They're still coming in, fellas.
I'm like Real Gal's Fish made it in because she is one of my favorite people in all the lands.
Oh, wow.
I have to continue to suck up to her since Mendota, where she's going to share some stuff that she has on video. So
she's a very nice lady, and Richard's a super guy, so they work out really well.
Take it off the screen. So, Josh.
So, Chad.
Do you have any tips for us this week?
I do. And it actually worked out really good that we have Dustin on here, and he was talking about bumping earlier because I have got the whiteboard over here that I was drawing something up on.
Whiteboard? That's new.
Yeah. I grabbed the old, I bought this when we, I want to say when we fished a couples tournament or something, the very first one. I bought this for some reason and then didn't use it, and then my daughter stole it. And so I had to go steal it back.
Funny how that works.
But
is that the tournament that you lost the fish at the boat?
I've lost a fish in every couples tournament.
Okay.
So.
Just I didn't want to throw that out there real quick.
But no, I went out today. Like I said earlier, I went out on the Ohio today. The current was way down, but I still managed to come up with a few fish bumping. And one of the things that I noticed, and everybody has their own way of rigging up their bumping rig, but for purposes of demonstration, we'll go with just a regular 3-way rig. You can doctor that up however you want it. But there is one thing that you can change on a bumping rig when you're out there. It's going to be easy to change, and it can affect whether you're going to get a bite or not. Because I was bumping the lock wall behind JT Myers Dam, had made about 2 or 3 passes, didn't catch any fish. Changed one thing and put 2, just boom, boom. And that is, let's see if that thing, oh, there it goes. Good. All right, there's our bumping rig. We got our main line going to our rod, leader. You got I use a cannonball sinker, but that sinker drop line, if you change the length of that, I started out with about a 24-inch dropper on my sinker. Never got a bite. and I cut that thing down to about 8 inches. Picked up 2 fish, and that just brings that bait that much closer to the bottom in that water column. And so if you've got a couple people bumping in the boat, it's not a bad idea, never a bad idea for one of you to have a longer leader and one to have a short until you find out what those fish are wanting.
That's a great tip. And my question about your rig is, how long is your leader going to your hook?
My leader going to my hook is running about 24 inches.
Now, are you running any kind of float on that?
Yeah, I bought a bunch of our local Gander Mountain. Got out of the fishing tackle business. They became a Camping World. And so they marked everything 90% down. And when they did, I went in there and bought every Zara spook that they had in the store and just took the hooks off of them. I threw the treble hooks in my tackle box, and I can use those when I need them. But I'm running expensive Zara spooks as demon dragons, basically. I mean, some kind of a rattling peg float.
Same thing.
But, yeah, I keep one of those about 2 inches in front of the hook. Let that float that big. They were all biting big chunks of skipjack today. And that kind of adding that peg float, getting that, where it's getting it up, keeping it up off the bottom, and just playing with that leader length, you can control how high that thing, because those fish, if there's a bunch of current, they may not want to come too far off the bottom to feed, but they'll come up a little bit if they see something that they want.
That's a great tip, Josh. Thank you so much for that.
Hey, no problem at all. Hope it helps somebody out, help some fish in the boat.
Now, some of you may and others may not know Jason Mathena. Jason has fished as many or more tournaments than anybody I know, and has been as successful as anybody out there. Now, him and his mother fished tournaments for a long, long time. Now, Vicky's health is in bad shape, so we need to keep her in our thoughts and prayers. But Jason told me something a long, long time ago, and I'd been doing it a long time before he told me this, and it never sunk in till after he told it to me. But if you're not catching fish, change something. Presentation to catfish is everything. And I've kept that in the back of my head since the day he told me that. And if we're doing something and we know the fish are not there and we're not catching them, I start changing stuff until I get bit. And eventually you will find what they're looking for, and you'll start catching them. And that's something that Jason told me many years ago, and I find it to be a very true statement.
Yep.
It makes a lot of sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's big on presentation.
Dustin, when you're out there bumping, changing the leader. I think that's the first time I've heard somebody talk about that dropper to the sinker changing the length.
That's the first time I've heard anybody say anything about it. And it's not the first time it's been done, but it's the first time anybody ever told it. and that's what it's all about. We're here to help people catch more fish.
The biggest change I make on my bumping rigs is between switching from a single to a double hook rig and float or no float. That's the biggest change I usually make on my bumping stuff. But yeah, Josh, that's good tip, Josh.
It really is.
Thank you.
Very good. Very good.
All right. You ready to spin this here, Mr. Lyle?
I am, as a matter of fact.
All right. Here we go. Who will win this week's Mad Catter packet?
I have my pen ready so I can write their name on the package. Avid Fisherman.
Avid Fisherman. Congratulations, Mr. Avid.
Dana, just send me your shipping address. I know I got it somewhere, but it's so much easier if you'll just send it to me again, and I'll get that stuff shipped right out.
That is somebody that will put those rigs to good use right there.
I will guarantee you he will use them. Yeah.
He will use those rigs.
We need to congratulate Avid on a 46-pound blue that he caught last Thursday night after Jody's tournament was over. He put it on the bank. That's a great fish. Congratulations, Dana. That awesome catch.
Awesome fish.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very well done, sir.
You know, there's not a tournament that I would ever remember being in that if on a 3 fish limit, if I had 346s, I'd probably been in the money. Might not have won them, but 346s would do you some good most of the time.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, Lyle, real quick before, I know Josh just gave us some great information, but there was something I saw on Facebook earlier today, actually on my way home from work. Just another tip is, a lot of us don't wear our, PFDs all the time when we're on the water and stuff like that. But I would ask everybody to at least make sure that they are in reaching distance, not shoved down in something where you can't get them. Skip Stewart had a John boat that hit a rock just right and hit a 10-inch hole into the boat, and they was going down pretty quick. And he put it on Facebook, so I'm sure wanting people to learn about it. So luckily they had that.
I was going to mention that a little closer to the end of the show, but I'm glad you brought that up. Skip and his son are very lucky to be with us tonight. Anytime that happens, you stand the chance of losing your life. So PFDs are very important. It is the law that anyone under 15 years old has them on anytime the boat is moving. I know in Missouri and Illinois, I don't know if it's anywhere else or not, but I know it is in Missouri and Illinois. So make sure the kids have them on. I would have for years encouraged all tournament directors to make it a rule that those are always on anytime the big motor is running. It doesn't hurt you to wear them when the trolling motor is running or when you're anchored, but anytime that big motor is running, you should have a PFD on. I am as guilty as the next guy. I don't like to be told what to do, but it's a safety factor for everyone. And I'm going to tell you a story right quick. A friend of mine who's dead and gone come over to fish a Jack and Jill tournament of Cindy and ours years ago. And him and his son's wife hit a sunken buoy. And they ended up on the bank on the Illinois side of the Mississippi River. And Cindy and I hadn't even got to our spot to fish that day. And Ron Workman called me up and he said, I've ripped a gash out of my boat. And he had a brand new Lund. And 3.5 hours later, I found them behind an island on the Illinois bank, and water was knee high. They had all their stuff out of the boat. Ron and Sarah was out of the boat, standing on the bank, and I had seen some guys we know as we come up behind that island. They said, if you find them, bring them back down here. We'll have everything cleared out, and you just load them up on our private ramp. And they got in the boat with me, Ron and Sarah did, and he followed me back to where we was going, and we got them loaded up on an old boat trailer that didn't fit their boat, but they took them around to get it out of the water. Boat never sank. Knee-deep water in it, pumping water out as fast as it would pump, but that Lund never sank. And that impressed me. But we took them and got going, and they took them around all the way through Quincy. It was a long way, and up the other side on the Missouri to their truck. They come back around, loaded up, and they took off and went home. But they saved their life and all their fishing equipment. And when that boat come out of the water, it had a 4-foot gash about 6 inches wide where it hit that buoy. Well, he was running. He was running and didn't know that sunken buoy was there, and it whacked it. And it ripped that Lund. But I'm telling you right now, when they tell you that a Lund boat won't sink, they won't sink. You can't sink one, period.
With gas like that, yeah.
That was impressive. It was like that
Very
for
impressive.
4 or 5 hours, sitting in the water, tied up to a tree. Never sunk. I was impressed. But safety first. Wear your PFDs. Let's go ahead and give away that other rig, Chad.
All righty, let me go back to my screen here.
Ron Workman is my favorite Cubs fan.
Go Cubs, go! What?
He was my favorite Cubs fan. We argued about that all the time. People would message me, say, that old man's going to drive over and beat your ass one of these days. I said, you don't understand. Ron and I are great friends. He likes it as much as I like giving it to him because he gives it to me the same way. And it went on for years until he passed away, and I miss him every day.
Well, I like him just because he's a Cubs fan and he gave you grief. But here we go. Let's see who the next winner is. Whisker Dreams.
Whisker
Congratulations,
Dreams.
Ricky.
I got you wrote down on the top of the page right there, Ricky. So give me a message. You guys can either, well, Dana knows how to get a hold of me, but Ricky, you can message me at catfishweeklytv@gmail.com, or you can just message me on my private email or on Catfish Weekly's email or message on Facebook. Either way, and just send me your shipping address, and I will get this stuff shipped right out to you. Dustin, thank you so much for being a part of our show tonight. We appreciate it very much. You was a great guest with a lot of knowledge, and I give you an invitation to come back on the show anytime, and we'd love to have you back.
I had a great time. Thanks for having me on here. I
Oh,
appreciate it.
absolutely, absolutely. And I know that Chad gets on me, and you just kind of got to overlook that because I'm really a pretty nice guy.
Everybody.
I have to reel you in every once in a while. Tonight it was only once, and it was we had a great time, had a great show, great conversation.
That's why I have co-hosts to keep me out of trouble.
I had a good time on here. I appreciate
Well,
it.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. Josh, a great tip tonight. Thank you so much for that. Hope to see you back next week with another one.
Yep, we'll come up with something for next week. Thanks for having me on, Lyle. Appreciate it.
That'll be great. If you guys haven't checked out Chad's show on Thursday night, be sure to do that. The Bait Shop with Freddie and Chad, and followed by Panfish Nation with Mark and I will be doing a show. We have a great guest coming on Thursday night. Double Hook Angling will be our guest, so we're going to enjoy doing that. And then be sure to check out Josh's channel, The Weekend Angler. He'll have a tip every Saturday.
Every Saturday, short tip Saturday.
And it's worth the watch. They're always great.
And this Saturday morning, we'll have the second annual Ohio River Pool Party live catfishing tournament starting at 7 a.m. Central. So
that's awesome. That's awesome.
Parker Pursuit is going down this year. I don't know by who, but
thanks everybody for jumping in chat tonight. We appreciate it very much. If you haven't given us a thumbs up, please do before you leave. And if you haven't subscribed, we'd appreciate that. Thanks everybody for watching. Dustin, thanks for being a great guest. We'll see everybody next Monday night.
Y'all take care.